Hi Virgo. This will be a reading for the zodiac sign of Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, North Node. This is a Sun and Gemini reading, so this reading will be relevant while the Sun transits Gemini or when it finds you. Remember, just trust that the message finds you and it's for you, so it could just be at a Gemini period in your life. I did some channeling for you, Virgo, and I received some information. I have to say that I'm feeling quite lightheaded. I'm having to ground a lot, and this is nothing to do with a medical condition at all. It is something to do with your energy, okay? Virgo, being that you're ruled by both Mercury and some people say Chiron, but with that mercurial influence, I'm feeling that you're being especially affected by all of this Gemini energy going on at this time. The Sun is in Gemini, Venus is in Gemini, Mercury is in Gemini. Something else is in Gemini. North Node is in Gemini. You're being affected greatly. You're being affected in a different way than the actual sign of Gemini, but I'm feeling that you're feeling it for the worse, if that makes sense. So you might be feeling very up in the clouds, very mercurial. You need to ground yourself, and I think that that could be difficult at this time. So what's interesting about you, Virgo, is that you're a sign who, excuse me, maybe there's something I'm not supposed to tell you, but I'm going to make sure to tell you anyway. It's your job. You are incarnated here on Earth with this daunting task, which is to span heaven and earth. Okay, similar, wow, I just got something similar to the opposite sign from you, Pisces, who spans heaven and earth. You as well, Virgo, span heaven and earth in a different way. It's your job to span those two places and bring the opposite to the other, okay? So you're split between the divine and the earthly realm, and you bring human grit to heaven, and from there you bring divine order to earth. And it's your job as a Virgo incarnated in this lifetime to always be working and be split between those things. And you know, right now I truly feel you very up in the clouds, but it doesn't feel like you're at peace. It feels like you're a little bit anxious or chaotic at this time. This reading is asking you to have the strength to continue your role living between these worlds. Your energy is so needed, Virgo. You are the celestial virgin of the zodiac. You're so beautiful, and you're so salt to the earth because you've seen another way of being, and yet you are here anyway. Okay, so we need your energy, so please ground down and come back to us. So that's what I have for you for now. I'm going to get an oracle message to start off this reading, and I'll read it to you from the book, okay? I do that because there are usually specific words or phrases that you need to hear to anchor you in this reading, as well as to activate you. So there will be specific words and phrases that you will hear that should activate you. If you're dealing with distractions at this time, I'm getting, it's not the word distraction, it's something else. There's a struggle here between purity and something else. I don't know what that something else is. Maybe it will come out in the cards, but there's something between, you're asked to have the strength to choose between purity and this other thing, and I don't know what that is. Or to hold both at once. Perhaps to hold both the divine order that you so cherish, as well as that like earthly grit that you can just as easily slip into as well. Have the strength to do that. I would like a message for Virgo. Sun, Moon, Rising, North Node at this time. Sun and Gemini reading. I think you'll feel a lot better when Gemini season is over, quite honestly, Virgo, but Who wants to wait around for astrological transits? You know, maybe there will be an activation in here for you to pull you out of whatever energy you might be stuck in, to ground you. Oh, they want me to do this first. Message for was it that one? Or... Okay. Wow. All right. Gorgeous. Virgo, you have the Two of Orbs. Do you see how she's holding these two worlds in her hands? They are different, but equal. They're sort of mirror reflections of one another. And she's holding both of these orbs in her hands. And in both cases, they're kind of hovering just above or below her. She's also continuing to walk on the path while she does this. So she's juggling these two things while continuing on the path. And that's what I get for you. You might be paused on the path, but you're being asked to hold space for both of these things at the same time as you move forward. That's no small task, Virgo, but I do see that that's what Spirit is asking you to do. Okay? I'm going to read this to you. Okay. A woman's outstretched hands reveal two orbs, one positioned above her hand, the other below, representing the imbalance perennially seeking resolution in the polar aspect of the number 2 vibration. They're different in their aspects as they are the same. She's poised gracefully on a path that leads from the deep waters of her subconscious and the intuitive mind, suggesting that she can draw from that source as well, as she ponders the two different but equally interesting options available to her. She is reflective without struggle, moving out of the deep waters of the emotional body, through the haze that it can manifest in the hours of greatest change, and onto higher ground. Her semi-naked body reflects her vulnerability, as the drape suggests she is covered, whatever her decision will be. Where there are two opinions, ideas, and visions, there can be conflict, or simply two perspectives that may require reconciliation in order to achieve clarity. Often, two sides of the concept must be weighed against each other to evaluate which is the more important or vital aspect at this time. Okay, here are some questions for you. What are you deliberating about? What are the pros and cons of the matter at hand? How can you find balance and harmonize the opposition in your mind to move forward constructively? What choice are you facing that you feel must be made? So, similarly to your divine purpose of being incarnated as a Virgo and holding the space for the earthly realm as well as the divine, perhaps in your life you're seeing a reflection of that on a smaller scale, on a microcosmic scale. Okay? Between two choices or ways of being. We'll see what that is for you, Virgo. Let's pull some tarot for you now. Tarot for Virgo. Sun, Moon, Rise, and North Node. The sign of Virgo. Forgive me as I just ground myself some more. After getting that message out, I do feel better. I do feel more at peace. So I think that after you make a choice or hold that strength to be in both ways of being at the same time, I think you'll feel much more at peace once you reconcile those two things. There's something about a 2 for sure. Okay, a card wants to come out. The Lovers. Once again, that's a 2. It's number 6, but 2 figures here, so a choice. 2 different but the same things. Mirror. Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, North Node. The Hanged Man. This is the card of Pisces, your opposite, which is always important in terms of understanding your own zodiac sign. The Hanged Man. Being between both worlds but not living in either. Not bringing that opposite element to the other. Just kind of being in neither at the same time. Limbo. Indecision. Can also mean enlightenment, but not here, not right now, not in terms of what we're picking up on. Limbo. But with the opportunity to, if you change your perspective, hold both things at once. If this has something to do with your family, about like reconciling different viewpoints, I see that that's affecting you. I never have any advice, really. I just translate what I see, but I don't have any information, I should say, more than that, but I do get that that could be what someone is dealing with. And it's kind of putting you in this limbo position. Okay. Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, North Node. 8 of Cups. Being asked to take a step in a different direction. Do you see how this figure here, there are 8 cups stacked behind her within this palace, within this structure? It's comfortable, it's warm, it's beautiful, really. And then in front of her, beyond these stairs of this temple, lies great darkness and a single cup out in the distance that she may or may not see. She's looking at us, kind of asking, like, should I go? And that's you. It's you just standing on that precipice. Which way should you take a step out? Should you take a step in which direction? I see that you've completed something. And I do realize, I think that I said that there were 8 cups stacked up when actually there are 7 because it's the 8 of Cups, but I don't think that's a mistake. I think that choosing to take that step in whichever way you must to get down from this Hanged Man will bring you some sort of 9 of Cups fulfillment. Princess of Swords. Using your discernment, your intellect, your logic to make decisions, to cut yourself down. Do you see how this figure is cutting this hangman down from his perch? Yes, this hangman's arms are tied, but even so, you have the power to loosen that hold for yourself. So, wow, if this has to do with reconciling different viewpoints, for example, the way that you could get yourself out of this energy is not by expecting anyone externally to change, but instead working on yourself internally. And I'm hearing radical acceptance. So there could be some form of radical acceptance, some sort of mental work, some mental clarity that cuts you down from the hangman position. Because acceptance isn't about saying that what the other person does or thinks or feels is right or wrong. It just is. And it can help to release you from feeling bound. This Eight of Cups keeps looking at me. This figure has something to tell me. She's, I think, a little bit nervous. Queen of Swords. But don't be, because look at this. Do you see how she's kind of unsure of herself? Don't be. There is a rapid evolution, excuse me, from this Princess of Swords to the Queen of Swords. Stepping up in a big way. Okay? Rapid evolution. So in terms of this Two of Orbs, in some sort of radical acceptance about these two irreconcilable, equally important but different things, there is opportunity there for you to grow immensely by simply accepting both as they are. You go from this to this. This Queen of Swords has a lot of life experience. She's seen a lot in her day. She wields this sword. It is very heavy, so she doesn't use it unless she has to. So if this has to do with perhaps like rhetoric, logic, arguments, or debate about something, it could be that you're going from this princess who's more... Wow, so what I got is that neither of these figures are necessarily speaking up very much. And this is an indicator that there are two sides of the same thing. Neither of these figures is speaking up very much, whereas like the Prince of Swords, the Knight of Swords, would probably want to start an argument. This page is holding her tongue, and the Queen is holding her tongue. However, for very different reasons. This princess doesn't want to have the confrontation, and this Queen knows that the confrontation is very much beneath her. Wow. Okay, so cutting yourself out of this energy, evolving out of it. If you're looking to move on from something and leave it behind, I get an indication that you are. Some of you are looking to leave something behind. I see that there's, even if it's scary, there's something better for you. And it might not be readily apparent, but I'm getting the number 3, so it could show itself to you within a cycle of 3. King of Pentacles. Very solid, stable, secure, holding this pentacle. Has worked for this pentacle. It's kind of in this card showing it off a little bit, just like out of pride. He's poised, he's proud to have this pentacle. He's in his garden outside of the castle walls. Beyond the castle walls. Or within. But I get that this is separate. So it could be some sort of achievement away from something else, some other important structure in your life. So if you are working on an achievement that is not the same as wherever you're coming from, I can see that you're going to receive a lot of enjoyment and wisdom and success in it. And it's internal, like this king. Sure, we see him and we might admire that pentacle, right? But it's really the value, thank you, the value in this pentacle is coming from within. He has created it, and so therefore it has so much value. So whatever it is you're thinking of doing, something different, something for you, it's going to have so much value outside of the external structure from which you're coming. This is for you. An avalanche. Can we have one more card, please, for Virgo? Sun, moon, rising, north node. I'm going to switch. There's the one. Justice. Being your own judge, weighing your heart against the feather, right? And it's only you who can do that. It can't be this external structure to tell you whether or not your accomplishment is valuable. It's you. And it's God, creator, divine, whatever you believe in. It's between you and God. Okay. Not your family, not your church, not your community, not your financial institution. It's you and God. That's it. They want 3 more of these cards for you, Virgo, so there must be a little bit more to the message. I was going to switch decks to my OG Rider-Waite, but there we go. 3 more, like I said. And at the bottom of the deck is the 3 of Cups. And like I said, I saw the number 3 for you. There's something important about a 3 cycle. It doesn't have to be a time indicator, although it can be. Use it in what way you will. All right, there's a 3. So we have the Sun. The 4 of Swords. And the Chariot. Look at that, Virgo. This 4 of Swords is really interesting. It's a bit different from the traditional depiction. And I'm not getting with it any of the meanings I usually get. For me, I feel like this figure, while when I look close enough, I see that she's peacefully sleeping. I initially heard the phrase waiting for the other shoe to drop with these 4 swords on the wall. So whatever it is you're moving toward, whatever it is you're working on, whatever it is you have to have radical acceptance about, you're kind of waiting for the other shoe to drop. So that could have to do with internalized beliefs, thoughts, opinions of others outside of you that could have been coming from this traditional structure. You know, see this castle beyond the King of Pentacles? It could have to do with beliefs that are coming from there instead of your own core belief system that you're generating, creating for yourself. You see he's in this lush garden. He's created this for himself. You can create your own morals, values, judgments. And that's very Virgo of you to grow and to also have ethics, right? Highest peak Virgo. So waiting for the other shoe to drop, I don't feel like that's your energy. So just let that go, all right? Also with this 4 of Swords, I noticed the figure is peacefully sleeping and has just blown that candle out. So there's a thing with the candle. Hold on. Maybe it's just either it's making a wish, but I feel it's more blowing out a candle and like letting things go. That's what I'm getting with the candle, is like that smoke dissipating, the flame going out is just like letting things go. And remember how I said that some sort of radical acceptance could translate you from this to this. So letting things go for your own benefit, to get out of a Hanged Man limbo energy and instead into Hanged Man illumination energy. And I see that you can, because you have 2 amazing, gorgeous cards, the Sun and the Chariot here. 2 major arcana. You have, wow, you have 4 major arcana right here. The Hangman, Justice, the Chariot, and the Sun. The Sun. The Chariot. Give me just a second with these. This could have something to do with Cancer season. Apply that if it fits to, especially to the 3, if that fits, if there's some sort of celebration or number or date that happens during that time. If not, that's really all I'm getting with that. I just do see with this Sun, it's kind of, like I said, reaching that illumination energy. Wow, I just said illumination. I get it. Illumination, right? Reaching that illumination energy instead of the limbo energy. Moving forward beyond that. That's what I feel. I'm going to just see if there's anything from this deck that wants to come out quickly. We've got the King of Wands and the Nine of Swords. I just see that being anxieties about wanting to move forward but not being sure if you can. More limbo energy, more being stuck energy. But being that you're showing up there as the King of Wands, you are ready. So cut yourself down. Cut yourself out of this and move forward. Move forward. I have to quickly say that if this has something to do with a religious institution and you've been told your whole life that a certain way of being was wrong, but in your heart, in your soul, you don't feel that something is wrong, but everything around you, the doctrine says it is, I see that you're growing your own belief system, whether that's you're ready to show that to the world or if it's kind of still an internal thing. I see that you're creating value for yourself, and whatever you're doing is so valuable because it's you've done it on your own without any validation from these outside structures. But I do see that you could be leaving with this figure stepping out of the palace there into the unknown. And I see how black and dark that unknown is, I do. But it's gorgeous. It's littered with stars. It's where you belong. It's where that cup is for you. Okay? That's for somebody. So I'm sending you a lot of love if that's you. You must be very brave to be able to do that. And I admire you for that. So we'll be thinking of you. Also, if that is you, God has a message and God sees you. So remember that your choices, you just have to be right with yourself and God. Okay? And that's really living, I just heard living the gospel, living the truth. That's the true meaning of it for you. Queen of Wands, and I think this is living out loud. All right? This is bold, big, bold action, being, vitality, strength, the Queen of Wands. Just living out loud is what I heard. I also noticed her little cat companion here. So there might be someone along the way, whether it's a spirit guide, a pet, on this side or another, that's with you at this time. Kind of protecting you, okay? Anything else for Virgo? Sun, Moon, Rising. Also, I just remember that we got the King of Wands, but it felt like a side message, so I put him back. Yeah. For me, the Queen is extremely powerful, so I think she was the King of Pentacles. I just got another message when I was describing the queen and the king, and it's I put the king back because he didn't feel as important to me with that 9 of swords. That was an indicator of you are ready, but there is some anxiety. The message I get is that you don't have to like come out to the world in whatever way it is for you, whatever you're working on or doing or being. You don't have to be the king in the you just have to be whatever it is you are, and it'll shine through. The queen just is. She just is who she is. All right, she doesn't have to say it. So if there's some anxiety in the king energy of like that masculine projective energy, instead embody this, because this is the card that I felt was most important for you anyway, Virgo. The Queen of Wands, just being who she is, living life in color. And the King of Pentacles once more. He's a beautiful energy. Quiet contentment, pride, responsibility, and relaxation after taking action. Really, I'm appreciating the finer things in life, and what I feel that is whatever you've grown and cultivated for yourself, within yourself or an external thing. I don't know. That will be for you to tell. But what's important is that it came from your own internal values, your own internal moral compass system, not some other structure. Okay, Virgo? That was really gorgeous. I do want to leave you with an oracle message, and I'll read it to you to kind of leave you with that energy. Ground you and close this out. Wow, that was quick. Is it this one? Let me see. So sometimes I have a card that falls out, but usually with this deck they like me to choose, so give me just a second. This could just be a secondary message. Let me see. Wow, okay. Yeah, I think this is your message, but let me just make sure. There's 2 for you this time, Virgo. I'll read them both. So you have Voyage here. It's the humpback whale. And the message with this one is being a traveler and going forth into the unknown. Okay, so this is just a little side message for you. I'm getting with it this 8 of Cups. So for those of you who are making this choice here, it's traveling into the unknown. And then your card that I'll leave you with is Inner Peace. Inner Peace, Lily Pond. Simply sitting next to a lily pond, watching the dragonflies soar overhead and looking at the luminous lily pads floating gently on the water while their translucent flowers open their petals to the heavens, can fill one with the sense of profound and everlasting peace. Lilies grow in many countries and have been given a wide range of meanings. However, one enduring image of the lily is the notion that out of the darkness and mud arises a thing of immense beauty and grace. No matter how much darkness there has been in your life, you can rise into enlightenment and profound tranquility. The sacred landscape wants you to know: inner peace is your birthright. Tranquility occurs when you realize that your life is unfolding according to divine planning. Serenity isn't something you have to work for or search for. It already exists within you. To find this inner peace, simplify your life, spend time in nature, and listen to the message of your soul. True peace transcends fear and connects you innately to the Creator. Breathe deeply and fully, knowing that all is well. Wow. That's lovely, Virgo. I am going to read you this card because I'm getting an indication that I am supposed to. So, I wouldn't want to cheat you of a message. Voyage. Humpback whale. Humpback whales make the longest journey of any mammal. They travel 14,000 miles every year. They spend the summer months near polar regions, and in the winter they journey toward the equator to tropical waters. Among some native tribes, whales are considered to be protectors of travelers and journeyers, as well as guardians of the sea. This card indicates that no matter what your journey is and where it takes you, you have protectors at your side. The sacred landscape wants you to know: get ready. You are about to embark on a journey. It might be an inner sojourn or an outer voyage to a distant land. It might be a project or idea that is coming to life. But most certainly you are an intrepid traveler, sailing forth into the unknown. Where do you want to go? What have you always wanted to do or be? This is the time to make it happen. Get prepared. Have a clear vision of what you want to experience, but also be prepared for the unexpected. That is the part of the exhilaration of being a traveler. Remember to enjoy the journey as much as reaching the destination. Okay, Virgo. It's time for you. All right, thank you for sharing your energy. I do wish you the best, and I hope to see you again soon. Take care.